Let's go out to Boise, Idaho, and talk to the great Nicole. What's up, Nicole?
Hi, I'm so excited to talk with you today.
I'm excited to talk to you. What's up?
Okay, I just want to say before I start that you've helped my marriage in so many ways. Like every day my husband gets home from work and he'll literally ask me, what new thing are we going to try from that processed meat man today? You've been amazing, so thank you.
You're welcome. But listen, you can't be like, when you're mad at him, you can't be like, well, Dr. John says that you can't do that. You promise?
I promise.
You do. I could tell. You don't.
I totally have.
Don't weaponize me. I already have enough people who don't like me.
Me too. It's fine.
All right. I'm going to be walking through Boise one day, and he's going to be like, hey, we got a problem. And I'm not that tough. All right. So how can I help you today? Thank you for being in our gang and for saying kind things. That's awesome.
So my question is, how do you know when it's time to find a new job, or if you need to do more trauma work or change your lifestyle?
Well, I think it depends on. Yeah, tell me the backstory.
I'm a kindergarten teacher.
You're a what?
I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, man.
And I have been for 8 years now.
Yes.
I really do love it. I love my kids. I love the act of teaching. But I am really struggling with living in this constant state of fight or flight during the school year.
What are you scared of?
I've been through really intensive trauma therapy.
No, let's back out of trauma therapy. What are you scared of? What's your body reacting to with a room full of kindergartners?
I've been physically hit in my classroom. I've been spit on. And so it's that aggression.
Is your school one of these increasingly, I can't even wrap my head around how insane this is.
And I know it's 5-year-olds. Like, I know sometimes
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is you have an administration that will remove those kids from the learning environment.
Correct.
Will they?
No. Or they will for a moment, and then they're back after they calm down and have a Laffy Taffy or whatever it is that
with no intervention.
Respond to. Correct.
Yeah, here's what's happening all across the country, and it's going to keep happening because of the cowardly, and insane way school administrators and school boards are setting up teachers to be abused, screamed at, yelled at, spit on, hit at all levels because they will not remove troubling kids from the learning environment. And they are destroying the learning environment for every other kid in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to tell you, you're not safe in there. And let's be super clear. If those kids are doing it, they're coming from homes where that kind of is either tolerated or that kind of behavior is picked up. Right?
Yeah. It's learned somehow.
So I'm telling you, if you're my wife, my wife was a teacher forever, and that's her world. And she said, I'm tired of getting spit on and hit by kids. I would say, quit today. And okay. I need everybody listening, I need you to hear me say, I dedicated my life to educators. Both my PhDs come out of a college of education. That's what I love. That's who I am. I love spending time with administrators. I love spending time with schools. I love spending time with teachers. That's my world. I married one, for God's sake. I love that crew. And I'm not going to subject a group of people to insane violence, to insane all day, everyday disrespect, a disrupted learning environment, because people are too cowardly to take on obnoxious, annoying parents. I can't in good conscience say, well, you just got to tough it out, honey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, if you're wired for it, some people are, like, bring it on. If you're wired for it, what you have to do is the work outside of the classroom so you can be well, so you can go back in.
Right. I think that's what I'm having a hard time with, because I love the kids so much, and I'm good at what I do. It's taken me a long time to be able to say that out loud, but I'm good at it.
Good.
The kids deserve that, but it's hard because my body, I shut down whenever those things happen.
I would be willing to bet you money you shut down bigger. You shut down before that.
Probably.
What's the bigger shutdown?
I don't know.
Because there's an extraordinary book. I recommend everybody read it. It's called Burnout by Emily Nagoski and her sister. I think it's Amelia Nagoski. It's excellent, and it's written to professional women, but I think men. I got a lot out of it, and I've recommended it to men all over the place too. But they distill burnout down into 3 areas. The feeling that, number 1, nothing I do matters. I can come at 6 a.m. and tutor. I can come at 6 a.m. and help these kids learn how to count. I can come at 6 a.m. and clean up the room. I can stay till 7 p.m. Nothing I do is going to change these kids' lives. Nothing's going to change the system. Nothing's going to change anything. The second one is this deep and profound, not tired, it's exhaustion. It's in your bones, right? It's this overwhelmed. When I pull into the driveway of the school building, my body starts to shut down because it can't handle what's coming. And then the third one is, I think the most damning one is this increased isolation. It really starts to siphon off other people from you, and it's isolated.
Yeah, I could see that, because I get home and I don't want my husband to touch me. I don't want to talk to him. I just want to go to bed.
Which then your body starts yelling, I need connection, I need connection, I need connection.
Yeah.
And then it runs out the door and starts this whole process over again. And you see how that spiral spins tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah, I see that.
So when I'm talking to first responders, when I'm talking to people who are emergency electricians, they got to be up at 2 a.m. hanging from a pole fixing electricity so a whole neighborhood block can have heating and cooling, right? What I tell them is, you have to have friends not in your industry that you hang out with on a regular basis. You have to have regular, intimate contact with your husband or your wife. You have to put on a calendar. You have to be safe in your work. You have to deal with the fatigue. And often we think dealing with fatigue means doing nothing. It's usually the opposite. I have to start an exercise program. I got to start honoring my body with what I eat. I've got to start. And you think right now, I couldn't possibly move and go to the gym after the day. I would tell you that would transform your life. My buddy Sal DiStefano with the Mind Pump guys, he's told me that when he was a personal trainer, people used to sign up for personal training with him, and they would skip because they didn't have enough. They would say, I don't have the energy today. And he would say, you're paying for it. And they would come and they would come and they would come. And he said within 6 months to a year, they would cycle off, right? So they would have a trainer and then not have a trainer, then have a trainer, then not have a trainer. He said he'd get a call from these clients and they would say, hey, I'm out of energy. I got to start working out again. Because they realized that energy begets energy, that the path towards a body feeling like it can handle more is movement and exercise. You might be a CrossFitter. I don't know. You might be running marathons. I don't know.
No, definitely not.
I just know, because my community has been teachers my whole career, that when you go to work at 7 a.m. and you deal with 30 people running around everywhere and an administrator that's running around everywhere and no support and angry emails from parents that your school district expects you to respond to every 14 minutes. And by the way, get off the computer, but why aren't you responding to these emails? All those things. That they get home and then they collapse. And then they grab something to prop them up. Unhealthy, they grab another drink, they just Netflix themselves out, and that starts a cycle of wah, 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 right? And then your body just says, hey, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't want this life.
I think the biggest thing is I've noticed I'm just so much happier since we've been on summer vacation. I just feel light and happy. And
yeah. And so my question to you would be, can you recruit, what are you doing to feel light and happy? Because you're doing different things. It's not just the absence of. What are you doing? And can you put that into practice for your school year? Can you be responsible for some new boundaries? Meaning, I leave at 4. Ta-da. Well, I need you to do all this work and all this. Well, I leave at 4. Then we're just going to have to, you might have to, but I don't do 12-hour days.
Yeah.
right? I do not
definitely do.
I do not have kids that spit on me. They're not welcome in my class.
And that's something I guess I have a hard time. Like I'm allowed to say that. Like
I think at some point teachers have to start saying that, or the entire education system in the United States is going to implode on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that's a huge burden for you, and you don't have to carry it. And if you're not going to carry it, I applaud you, but you gotta get out of that job because you're not safe.
Yeah.
But I would
you're
love.
right. And I think the part two is I'm having a hard time. Like we're trying to get pregnant, and so I'm worried about even if I do get pregnant, the stress on.
It might, but let's let tomorrow's worries be. Let's let tomorrow's worries be thought through tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's a tomorrow thing. What I would like to see you do is build a life worth living and let your job be a part of that, not try to survive the life you've created because of the job you have. And so I'm going to send you a copy of a brand new book. It's called Building a Non-Anxious Life, okay?
Okay.
And it's got 6 choices that you and your husband can make together on building a non-anxious, a non-burned out, a non-chronically stressed life. And as a part of that, we all have to work. I would be willing to say work is important. We're not designed to just sit home and collect checks. That's why our whole country went crazy when the government said 300 million of y'all are not essential. We'll just send checks. Y'all stay home. We went crazy. We're not designed to not have a purpose and a role. And so work, hard work is a part of that. Dangerous adventures are a part of a non-anxious life, but they have to be in the right context, and you have to have connection and community and safety and health and healing and all these other things so that you have bedrock to anchor into and you can rappel off and do the hard job.
That makes sense.
You see, like it inverts everything that we're told about how to, like, do I just quit this job? Maybe. But I hear in you, you love it.
I really do.
You love it, and you're really good at it. And you see these kids, and you are the first other adult many of these kids have ever interacted with besides their parents or their grandma or whoever, and you're real good at it. It's just getting exhausting. So maybe before you quit, you sit down and you back all the way out and you say, okay, how can we build a life so that I can both go do my job well, and when we get pregnant and have a bunch of little knuckleheads running around, that I can be a great connected mom there too. And if I choose to stay at home and we have kids, great. We're going to cross that bridge when we get there. That's not today. It's not today. And let this be like for every administrator, every principal, every teacher, every school board member, you have to make the learning environment a safe place. And I don't mean safe in the wah-wah, I can't hear things I'm uncomfortable with. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I think that's insane and nonsensical too. What I'm saying is if a teacher's getting hit or spit on or cussed at, you have to remove the kid from the learning environment, period. And I'll go this far. I don't care if that kid has trauma or has reasons for acting out as a child. I fully understand that. I've dedicated my life to sitting with those kids, but they can't be in this environment because they don't have the tools to be there. They need some support and help. And burning the rest of the learning environment to the ground and running every teacher in the country out of their job cannot be a part of the solution. It can't be. It can't be. We got to do something different, guys. We got to do something different. Because great teachers like Nicole are heading out the door, and we cannot have that. I got 2 little kids in public school. I've got a vested interest in this. Please, let's solve these challenges.